Ocean climate change is forcing sharks, rays, and other species to flee increasingly hot water in the tropics, only to be killed by increasingly intense flows of cold water from the depths, a study has found. One of the paper's authors described the eerie consequences of the mass extinction of more than 260 marine organisms from 81 species in a single extreme cold upwelling event off the coast of South Africa in 2021. A paper published in the journal Nature Climate Change on Monday found that shifts in ocean currents and pressure systems caused by climate change are increasing the frequency and intensity of upwelling, which in turn could increase the vulnerability of migratory species such as bull sharks. Scientists focused on the 2021 mass extinction, which they were able to track in unusually fine detail because one of the affected creatures that survived was a bull shark that was tagged by satellite. They found that it was caught in water that was more than 10 degrees cooler than the tropical species is accustomed to. The paper details how the shark changed its behavior in an attempt to avoid colder areas. He swam much closer to the surface than usual and went beyond his normal migration pattern. Many of the injured sea creatures washed up on the shores of South Africa, including a baby great manta ray that was aborted by its traumatized mother. "It was eerie to see so many species washed ashore dead," said Ryan Daly, one of the paper's authors. He said he was surprised that even highly mobile species, such as manta rays and bull sharks, were caught in the upwelling. "You would think they should have swam away, but they were pinned down. They couldn't escape," he said. To understand the broader trends behind the extinction, the scientists tagged other sharks and used 41 years of sea surface temperature data and 33 years of wind data to examine the frequency and intensity of cold killer events off the coast of the Agoli Current in the Indian Ocean and the East Australian Current over the past 30 years. They found that between 1981 and 2022, the frequency and intensity of cold upwelling events increased in these regions. Other species killed in such cases include whale sharks, surgeonfish, big-eyed trevally, and common blacktip sharks. Tagged bull sharks appear to have altered their behavior to avoid extreme temperature changes, swimming closer to the surface, sheltering in bays and estuaries, and moving only within their poleward distribution during the warmer months. Marine biologists have been working with oceanographers to map upwelling trends and predict what might happen in the future as climate change becomes more pronounced and extreme cold upwellings become more frequent along with periods of extreme surface heating. Within individual species, certain groups tend to live at the edge of their population range. These groups are the most vulnerable to sudden and prolonged temperature shifts, Daly said. There are bull sharks that run through cool areas to get to thermal refugia. Upwelling events can destroy this unique genetic diversity. He said the findings highlight the need for a new approach to marine conservation that includes knowledge of the increasingly complex ways in which climate chaos is affecting marine species. "We need to think about expanding protected areas and prioritizing different species," he said. "We have to think outside the box."